let's talk about voles.
Voles.
Because one of the questions that we get at the office a lot is about voles.
I understand that because there are a lot of voles around. I grew up calling them field mice. That's what we always call them. They're little short mouse-looking critters. They have a short tail, which differentiates them from a house mouse. They are extremely prolific. They burrow. They feed on plant material. They, unlike moles and armadillos, they like roots and they will kill your ornamentals. They are commercially important. I've seen them invade commercial orchards and kill fruit trees. By the wintertime, they will actually girdle the plants. They'll eat bark in the wintertime, so they're really, really nasty little critters. And it's one of the few critters that I talk about. I use this Prevention and Control of Wildlife Damage book, but it's one of the few critters I talk about where it says shooting is not practical or effective. They're too small, they're hard to hit, and they stay underground most of the time. But very quickly, I'm going to show you that there are a couple of toxicants that are listed. So using rodenticides are probably one of the most effective means of controlling these, and there are a couple of them out there, zinc, phosphide, and then the anticoagulant rodenticides are a little slower acting, but they do a pretty good job. And even snap trap, mouse trap, if you bait it with peanut butter or something like that, can be effective. Or you can catch a few, but in a laboratory situation, one of these little mama voles produce 17 litters in 1 year.
Wow, that's a lot.
17 litters?
17 litters.
How many in a litter?
They range from 3 to 13 or 14.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Most of them on the average are 3 to 6 or something like that. So they're very, very prolific critters. They can do a lot of damage, and you'll see the tunnels.
Yes.
You see where they come up. There'll be a hole about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches in diameter where they come up, and then they'll tunnel under things. And if you use one of the anticoagulants or the zinc phosphide baits, probably be a good idea to pour them in the tunnels because they are toxic to some birds, and it might keep other critters from getting to them. You can also buy bait stations, or create a bait station with the baits in there that'll keep other critters from getting to it. There are 23 vole species in the United States. Most of the ones we have in our area are the pine vole. I think that's the most common one here. But just they're really tough to control, and I would use all of these methods that I've talked about. Not
and you
just
can't just
one.
do it one time because they'll come back and come back.
That's
and
exactly
come back.
right. If you completely wipe them off your property, another vole will come walking by and say, "Hey, man, there's some empty space over there," and they'll move right in.
Mr. D, can you do us a favor? Can you explain anticoagulant?
An anticoagulant is a product that when they ingest it, it will cause them to internally bleed themselves to death. And usually in the process, it makes them thirsty. And so as far as rats and mice in your house or under your house or in your attic, it's a good thing because it will make them go out and find water, and hopefully they'll die out there close to the watering hole. The voles, it's not that important because they're outside anyway, for the most part. Now, some of these critters, the voles will come in. I've caught voles on my sticky traps in my garage. They come into my garage every once in a while, not that common. But they are just, they're extreme. They are predated upon by hawks and owls and coyotes and things like that, but there's not enough of those predators out there.
And snakes, right?
Snakes,
Snakes,
yes,
they'll get them too.
Rat snakes especially.
Right,
Leave the rat snakes alone.
Because they'll go down in the
They'll go in
tunnel.
there. They're one of the few critters that will go down and get them.
That's a good reason to not kill beneficial snakes, because the snakes, to me, like the rat snakes and the king snakes, those are the ones you want in your garden, because if you have a vole problem, that can help.
They can definitely help.
And one thing I have found too, that a lot of people, clientele will think that it's a mold
Yes.
Because they'll see those tunnels
Yeah.
and they'll think, and you know, voles will take over an
They'll
old
use mold
abandoned
tunnels.
mold tunnel, and that's why
I
a
see
lot of
that.
people think that the damage to the plants is the moles, and
It's
it's
not.
not.
No, it's not.
It's the voles,
The
yeah.
voles, right. And they love expensive plant material.
Oh yeah,
You know
I
about
had them. Yeah,
The hostas.
the
yeah.
hostas and roses.
Oh,
And
yeah.
roses, right.
I had a really pretty knockout rose that was several years old, and it was probably as tall as I am. And I noticed that it was just totally wilted. And I went out there, and it was kind of leaning, and I picked it up, and not a root on it. It was gnawed to just a knob.
Yeah.
And of course, it was.
Wow.
That's it.
And hostas will just disappear, won't they,
disappear.
Chris?
They
They
just
will
will.
just disappear.
Yeah, they sure will.
It's like that old Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's underground, he's pulling the carrots down as he goes, you know?
Yeah, that's how it is.
That's what they do.
That's it.
Yeah. They took that
That's
from
what those
voles.
voles do, buddy.
That's right.
So try all the methods. Is
Yeah.
pretty much what Mr. D was saying. Yeah. So.
And keep doing
wow,
it.
and keep doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Postpartum breeding is common. Females can breed as early as 2 weeks of age.
Wow.
Uh,
Oh,
You know, like I said, 17 litters. Litter sizes range from 1 to 11.
They need to come
That's
out
what
with
it
some
says.
kind of
Yeah,
faults.
yeah.
You know how insects have pheromones, you know?
Yeah.
Gestation
Do
period's
something for-
21 days.
Okay.
So, you know,
Quick.
a vole that is, 2 weeks plus 21 days is, what, 5-week-old?
5 or 6 weeks. Yeah.
5-week-old vole is producing babies
Reproducing.
already. You know?
That's
So,
scary.
How about that?
We're going to be overrun.
Take them out. Take them out.
All right, Mr. D, we appreciate that. That's some good stuff.